Just like that. Yes, we are. Sweet. Doing what I normally do here, sitting out a tweet. I don't know what that noise was. Live! Yeah, there we are. Okay, sweet. So, welcome, I guess, to the, as that thing goes off in the background, that's really annoying. Anyways, welcome to the second episode here of, One Man Booth. My kind of podcasty type deal thing. Coming soon to theaters everywhere, I guess. I don't totally know where that was going. So this is a bit different than last episode, because not only are we going to what do you call it? Oh, come on, I can't think right now. Unlike last time where I was just answering questions, I will be... Oh man, I'm interrupting Davari versus Tozawa. Oh god, no. This episode, not only will I just be speaking with the chat, but also bringing some of my own prepared, I don't know, topics, I guess, that I just kind of want to talk about. And some of them are pretty casual, you know, some of them are going to be recurring kind of topics, to, of course, being games I'm currently playing and music I'm currently listening to. Shocking, I know. Groundbreaking content, but, you know, I like to talk, all right? I like to talk about things. I like to talk about things that interest me with other people. And so, maybe you're interested as well. I interrupted cold calling Titus lit. Jesus. Does Telltale Batman come out today? Oh, I haven't pre-ordered it. I'll just wait probably until everything comes out, all the other episodes and stuff like that, because that's how I played the first one. That's how I played the original Walking Dead and the second season of Walking Dead. I waited till all the episodes were out, and then I went in and I played the rest of it. Looks good though. Kind of a weird idea they're running with the idea of like the Riddler being older, but I think that's fine, I guess. That's interesting. I wish the vent in the background would stop being so loud. That would be really helpful to the whole process here. So yeah, anyways, as we kind of get people in here, kind of start getting things through, I guess. Yeah, let's quickly bring up some of my preset topics here. And this first one relates to wrestling. I say a lot. God damn it. But the topic here that I have is Jesus Christ. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna keep fucking talking. Jesus, I can't stop saying what's wrong with me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyways, the question, I guess, is should we separate character from person in wrestling? And by that, I kind of want to hark back on the thing that originally made me question this, made me bring up this question, I guess. And that was the whole AJ Styles thing with AJ. The AJ Styles character versus Alan Jones himself. Oh man, brother, we're working with shoot names. But Alan Jones himself is a human being versus AJ Styles. And the fact that people seemed to have condemned the AJ Styles character in a way for Alan Jones's political views. Jesus, it's going to be really weird to keep jumping back and forth. Maybe I'll just say shoot and work, I guess. but in work or whatever, like AJ himself, the fans were a little upset with it. All right, little upset to hear it. Um, but anyways, the question that I have from there is a lot of the people who were defending AJ in this case, and I'm definitely one who can. I am definitely for, I guess, like the separation of character from person in wrestling. But here's the thing, right? If we separate character from like a shoot person, then we run into this issue. John Bradshaw Layfield can't be held accountable for anything that John Layfield does. So if we want to go down the route by saying that, of course, Alan Jones can be Alan Jones, he can think whatever he wants, but AJ Styles, the wrestler, it remains untouched. People who say, remember Benoit for his wrestling, not for what happened in his personal life, not the whole double murder-suicide situation. I think then we run into a double standard where people would be very quick to condemn JBL. In the same case where people would defend Chris Benoit. Both of them have, and I mean, I will say Chris Benoit's actions are certainly less, I don't know what to call it, less, they are stronger, things, I guess. Whatever. I don't know. Murdering two people and then killing yourself is a little bit stronger than making fun of someone for having depression. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. But my main question is, should we have this separation? Should I, as somebody who is left-winged in terms of politics, should I still enjoy AJ Styles? Even though I know that in the real world, he's very right-wing, conservative, Republican, whatever. Because, again, like I said, because I am very much for this. I would love to just look at wrestling as its own thing. And I know it isn't as black and white as this, where, oh yeah, like you have, cases will vary. All right, I'm just going to say it flat out. But people who flat out just say, no, you need to separate, like, character from person, JBL. That's pretty much all I've got on that. I don't know if you guys have ever thought of that before in that way. But, yeah, that's just kind of something that I thought of a little while ago. Well, of course, during the whole thing where AJ said whatever he said, retweeted whatever he retweeted, liked whatever he liked, and whatever occurred, the backlash. And I was just kind of like, people who are like, yo, man, no, you gotta separate, like, AJ Styles from Alan Jones, who cares? Well, what about JBL? Because I am in no way defending JBL, you know what I mean? I am in no way justifying his actions or anything like that. I'm just saying that if you want to put a full-on black and white statement of saying, this is a character, this is a person, you have to do the same with other people, I guess, I want to say. Flipping over the chat very quickly. There's just going on with Enzo right now because apparently he's a major dick backstage. Yeah, I don't pay attention to much of like the dirt sheet type stuff. Really, I don't, because I don't buy half of it. I don't buy into a lot of the stuff that they say, mainly the Karen Jarrett story or whatever, because you'd recognize who the hell Karen Jarrett was. If most of us as fans know what Karen Jarrett looks like, somebody who works in the actual business is going to know. Hey Leadles, hey Soja, how are you guys doing? What do we have here? I think they should be separate because we don't look at movie characters like Luke Skywalker and dislike them because you don't like Mark Hamill. Yeah, no, not at all, because I think it's very similar to that too. You can like certain roles from people who you may not even like. And politically or whatever, you know, you can, there's disagreements. You can have disagreements or whatever. But I think a lot of it, comes down to, I don't want to say being a bigger person, but I think that people who would view Alan, God damn it, who view AJ, fuck it, okay, in shoot, feeling however he feels, and pushing that thought onto his character, where in wrestling, I'm not even sure politics exist, aside from, like, go America. That's kind of just where I stand on it. I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Lidls. Let's see here. The Enzo stuff mainly coming from Simon Gotch, so take it with a pinch of salt. Oh yeah. 1010%. Well, I mean, I didn't know that it was coming from Gotch, but yeah, I don't believe any of that shit then. Oh, sweet, okay, dumb, hold on. Dumb, unrelated booking question. I'm booking WF 1996, and I want to bring back the old school Survivor Series format of elimination tags with survivors going into a final tag. Thoughts on it? I like that idea, yeah. I definitely think that there should be some kind of reward to it, something like that, aside, well, unless you just want to say that Survivor Series is prestigious enough that you win it, you win it. But yeah, I definitely think that's a cool little thing. I really liked that originally. I also like the idea of the whole show being like Survivor Series, you know what I mean? Every single match being 5-man elimination tag team match. You just need enough guys. That's all. AGB says, Gotch blamed Enzo for when Gotch got injured by throwing him to the ropes last year. Yeah, I don't know. Lidl says, the only problem is that I wouldn't be doing the world title match until December in your house. Yeah, whatever. Soja says, finally caught up with the TW series. Yeah, thanks, Soja. You're always pretty supportive of everything that I tend to do, which is always awesome. Thanks, everyone, for doing things. I'm trying to think of other things I can kind of talk about here. If you guys have any questions, of course, for me in the chat, I will answer them. And actually, I'm kind of interested in your guys' thoughts on the whole separation thing. I know, I think it was AGB who voiced his opinion. Yeah, it was. But any other guys in the chat who are hanging out here in the stream, I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything, I guess. Let me see here. Soja, it was, I think it was natural causes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was natural causes. You know what? I'm just going to move into another topic on the damn thing, because honestly, why not? Tuck, what's your favorite movie starring Al Pacino? I haven't watched one, I don't think. Lidls, I was talking about how if you want to make a separation in wrestling between like a shoot person and a worked character, the AJ Styles situation, where whatever, like Alan Jones can believe whatever, but AJ Styles, the character, is still safe because he's a character. If you want to do that, does it damage? Does it do unforeseen damage in situations like JBL, where can the JBL character be held accountable for things that John Layfield, the person, does? Can his position or thoughts, or do you have the right to boo him for something that has happened in shoot when it's a character? That's kind of what I'm getting at overall here. Do you have the right to boo someone for shoot reasons when... do you have the right to boo someone for shoot reasons when it's a character? I can make a separation as long as the character is distinctly different. But most of the time in wrestling, though, wrestling isn't written or booked in a way where you can really get to know the characters, and I think that's always going to be kind of a weak point in wrestling. You just kind of know general things about the characters, like Dean Ambrose, he's wacky, he's crazy. Seth Rollins, oh man, don't trust him. He's not friendly. Oh man, that Roman Reigns, he's such an ass kicker. He just punches all of them. And then it's like, oh yeah, you know, you got that Alan Styles guy. He's Southern. Let me see here. Lidl says, JBL is the same as John Layfield, so you have the right to boo him, whereas I think Benoit can be because he was different from his IRL persona. But he really wasn't, was it? Really? Because Benoit's whole character was, I am vicious and violent, and I destroy everything. And then he kind of ended up doing that, and it was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, Goofy brings a pretty decent point. Of course they have the right. They bought the ticket. They can do whatever the fuck they want. I agree with that. I agree with the idea that you can do whatever you want, but I was talking, like, morally, not, like, legally. Because legally, of course, you have the right to say whatever the fuck you want to say. You can go off on whoever the hell you want to go off on. It won't matter. But, in terms of morality, I guess, like, should you be allowed to do... Should it be something that we kind of... I don't want to say approve of, but something that we just kind of accept. Yeah, that's just kind of my general question. Sorry, it's not what I wanted to see here. That was dumb. What the hell was that? What the hell am I looking at right now? Oh, weird. Sorry, I was reading a thing there on the interwebs, as you tend to do. Morally, I got buried last year, but no legs, don't know that word. Jesus. If you know his IRL stuff, though, you know he's not like his character in real life, what he did, because he was known to state brain damage. Yeah, and of course, like I said, I don't review things as black and white, as like one thing has to be one way or it's another way, but I think people who generalize need to kind of be alerted to the fact that saying in general, oh man, to somebody who might be, I don't know, an outsider, a casual fan, something like that, even just somebody who isn't maybe able to make those distinctions, like, I think there needs to be a certain level of, I guess, intelligence, or maybe even a certain level of ability, I think, to say, no, that's this and that's that. Something like that. Okay. Do I have less respect for Bo Rotundo for claiming Sandy Hook was at work? Yes, but doesn't carry over me for the Bo Dallas character. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is I don't give a fuck about Bo Rotundo or Bo Dallas. Both of them are fucking losers, to be totally honest. Sorry, is that too harsh? I ask nobody. Yeah, it's just kind of a decent question, I think, to ask. One thing that I will very quickly do, I guess, is move into our next kind of topic. So, speaking kind of earlier, I alluded to the writing of the writing style of WWE. And over the past couple of weeks, I have become more and more and more, I guess, interested in writing, and maybe not necessarily writing, but styles of writing, how to write certain things, how to convey certain things in an attempt to not only just better my TW and my general YouTube content, but to eventually do other things with it if I ever felt like I wanted to. And so over the past couple of weeks, as I've kind of learned more and more about writing, I ended up kind of veering from just writing into like screenplays and stuff like that, and kind of writing for like a show or a movie or something like you would do in TW. And that has kind of, I don't want to say opened me. It's opened my eyes. No, but it's allowed me, I think, to flesh out ideas that I have. And I'll transition to another little bit close to this in a couple minutes, I guess. But I actually currently, I'm trying to write a screenplay, as shit as that sounds. I'm trying to write one. I'd like to try to write a book. I try to like to write a whole bunch of different things, because I think something that's super, 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 super important is expressing creativity, or expressing yourself in some way creatively. And you know what? Fuck it. I'll talk about the screenplay really quickly. The screenplay. So it is. It is kind of. How can I best pitch this? You know what? This is how. Hold on. I think I have a file open somewhere where I can pitch it from. Yes, I can. So it's kind of. Don't you say that it's a comedy? No, it's not a comedy. I don't think there's any humor in it, actually. Anyways, the whole idea of it is that it's set in, I don't know, I don't want to necessarily give a time, but the best way I think I've ever heard, being a time to explain when you didn't want to do an actual time, is, it's very obvious that it's then and not now. So it's then, not now. And I'm actually going to work with a character that I know a fair few things about, the Bruce Wayne Batman character. Bit nerdy, I know, but trust me, it's not really nerdy at all. So here's the thing. I want you to give me early to mid-20s Bruce Wayne. I want him to be in a really shit place. So I want this idea of this guy who... He's not in a good way at all. He's, what do I want to say? I basically want to tell the story. I want to tell a Batman story, but I want to tell more about the humanity. The fact that Bruce Wayne is a guy who has tons of money. He's never married. He never finds love. He saw his parents die in front of him at 8 years old, murdered in the back of an alley after experiencing his favorite movie of all time. Then he goes on to dress as a bat after getting training from, like, fucking Shaolin monks out in the fucking mountains. He comes back to Gotham and starts fighting fucking clowns, people who think they're penguins, robot fucking icicles. Like, Jesus Christ, that's insane. You're basically writing the last season of Gotham. Is that what Gotham's like? I don't know what Gotham is like remotely. It sounds like I would like it, though, probably, and I should watch Gotham, definitely. But I want to kind of tell, not a prequel, or any way like that, but I want to tell an early Batman story, and I want to tell it from Bruce Wayne, and it's never been told this way. He's in this terrible shape. He's an alcoholic. He's depressed. I literally like to think he tries to kill himself at some point, and Alfred has to stop him, and that's kind of the cool dynamic of it. I think it's at least kind of cool to show somebody who's actually human. That's the whole thing, because Batman is portrayed to be this superhuman type character. And if you put the undertones of Bruce Wayne being this total broken-ass nutcase guy who should probably, like, seek lots of help. And anyways, my idea of it is that he basically skipped out on all of the therapy and just suppressed all of this shit. Like, I like to think he just never ended up going to therapy, because I don't think the Batman Bruce Wayne character would have gone to therapy, to be honest, because my version of the Batman character, instead of going to therapy after his parents were murdered, he would have sulked for a bit. Then he would have gotten motivated. So he would have... I think after he sulks for 2, 3, 4, 5 years even, until he's like mid-teens or so, he travels to all these different places and gets training from all these different monk-ass master dudes of martial arts and, you know, becoming like peace with oneself. And I like to think that one of the things that the monks tells Alfred, kind of, because he's still his guardian, he's like, you know, like he's the fucking best fighter I've ever seen, but like the dude cannot control his emotions. Anyways, basically, Bruce ends up not giving a fuck about his well-being. He's just going. I like to think in what I've written thus far, the opening scene, Alfred like figures out that Bruce hasn't slept in like 3 days. And every single one of these nights he's gone out and he's just been Batman all night. And he's like, I like to think he's got like a whole bunch of nicks in him. He's got bruises all over him. And he goes out to go again, and Alfred's like, dude, what the fuck? How long can you do this? Why? Like he's only been Batman for like a few months, and he's like, why are you doing this? Just stop, okay? Like we can blow money on things and honor your parents' legacy another way. And he's like, no, this is the only way. And the whole idea, of course, the Batman character, and it's kind of evolved over time from just a guy who, oh man, he dresses up as a bat or whatever, to like, oh, it's a manifestation of his fear, and he scares people with it, because bats are scary, apparently. I've always clung to the idea, though, that Bruce Wayne needs to be Batman. Because if he's not Batman, he starts to lack purpose. He just becomes a billionaire. He just becomes a dude with so much money, he's never had a problem in his life. And so, basically, the idea is that the cowl is like this drug. Like, he puts on the cowl, and the pain's gone. Everything that's ever troubled him as Bruce Wayne, his parents, his, like, alcoholism, whatever, it's gone. When he puts on that cowl, he stops being Bruce Wayne. He becomes the Batman. Alfred, who's like basically a father figure to Bruce, he's concerned. He's like, he's gonna get himself killed, and it's gonna be illustrated really because Bruce at one point is going to break his arm, and instead of coming home or going to the hospital, he just pops it back into place, continues to fight some thugs, and then we find out later on that like, no, you fucked up your arm even more. You didn't pop it back into place. Are you stupid? You're not a doctor. You're just some billionaire jackass who thinks he's bigger than himself. And I'd like to think that that's the actual speech that the nurse or doctor, whoever, gives to him. So our villain, we're going to go a pretty generic villain early on. We're just going to go for Carmine Falcone, who's, you know, fucking Gotham crime boss. He's just going to try to execute a robbery. The biggest robbery in the history of Gotham. So Bruce doubles down. He's going to stop this, but his main problem is his arm. It's fucked. And he can't go out there and stop them. So he sees on his computer, right, Falcone fucking preparing all of this shit. And he can't stop it. He's just got to sit there with his arm until it heals. At this point, and in my universe, of course, I'm taking liberties from the original Batman story or whatever. You know, at one point, Bruce is like, I'm going out to stop him. And Alfred's like, your arm is like fucked, dude. You can't do that. If you do that, you'll probably die. Bruce is like, I'd rather die for something than nothing. And Alfred's like, holy fuck, man. No. So Alfred actually is the one who goes out and brings in Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson is, if you don't know, he's Robin, the first Robin or whatever. His parents are basically killed in front of him, same way Bruce's was. and Alfred's idea is that maybe they can somehow help each other because Dick is just this kid, and Bruce never really came to terms from the fact that when he was 8 years old, the kid died, and he became a man. He became a Batman, if you will. The idea is that at first Bruce is like, nah, Alfred, what the fuck is this? Why the fuck are you bringing a kid here? Are you kidding me? You know my work. You know how important this is. You know what happens if he finds out. And then Dick's all like, what are you talking about? And Bruce is like, nothing. I ain't got no time for kids. But eventually, over time, Dick kind of becomes a therapy dog of sorts for Bruce. And they talk to each other. And there's going to be certain scenes where Dick, talks about how, like seeing his parents die in front of him, that's something he'll never forget. And I like to think he's like, does it ever go away? And Bruce is like, never. That image will always be carved into your mind. Every single time I close my eyes, I see them there. And they talk things out, and that's the most important thing, I think, when you look at this. They talk things out, and basically, in the end, I like to think that Dick finds out about him being Batman. He's like, what the fuck, are you kidding me? This dude's fucking Batman. And so I like to think that Bruce tries to go out there, tries to stop Falcone anyways, with his arm. And Robin is actually the one who comes in and helps him and saves him and helps him stop Falcone, helps him stop this robbery. And that's kind of the story I wanted to tell. I wanted to tell the idea that it's this really shit character, Bruce Wayne, who's just fucking terrible, in terrible shape. And it's the idea that no matter how big your problem is, you're always going to find someone to relate to. And when you find that person, you need to both try to talk through whatever you're feeling. Anyways, what do we have here now from the chat? This guy says, holy shit, this is dark. Oh, Jesus Christ. Big Cass versus Big Show at SummerSlam is a shark cage. Oh, my God. Also hope you have the Penguin character like the Batman games. The character was great. It really was great. I won't even lie. Thank you, Matthew. I try. I'm not a genius, but I try to work with characters that I know. That's why I couldn't write anybody else, really. I couldn't like, write. Because my original idea was, oh my god, I'll write all these different things, I'll bring it together, I'll have, like, a Justice League of my own headcanon. Yo! And then I was like, I don't know any other characters like I know the Batman character. And I definitely like to think, though, that I have a very base knowledge of the Batman character compared to, like, people who are really into comics and really into these characters and really know them. But I like to think I know enough to where I could tell a decently interesting story that hasn't been told before. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking here. Oh, what the hell does Goofy say here? No, that's nothing of note. The Gotham prequel, yeah, Gotham is a prequel backstory, basically how the villains were created and what they are and how Batman was created. Yeah, I know it's a prequel story, with all the villains and stuff like that, but I know they're very, like, loosely based on different things, right? Because, it's, what the hell did I just say? It's loosely based or something like that? Maybe I just said that in my head. It hasn't flat out been like, oh man, this is that, but I know there's like a guy named like Jerome or something like that who is almost certainly the Joker. Like, it's really obvious. And then like Nigma's in there is like Edward, is it like Nichols? Whatever the hell his like actual name is before he changes it to Nigma. I know Cobblepot's in there. It's just like a generic crime boss. It's decently cool, I think. I would probably really like it, and I should watch it. AGB says, I spent 5 years coming up with this character in my head, and now whenever I write that, it's always the best character, because I understand the most like you do with Batman. Yeah, it's when you're able to, and necessarily, like I definitely don't think that as Batman's appeal kind of grows, I think a lot of, I think to get the best story, I want to say, out of any character, you need to know them on a certain level, and that's pretty easy to do when you're making your own characters. But when you're working with at least like a superhero type character, something like that, you need to, I think in my opinion, when stories about superheroes get the most boring, it's when the masks go on, because it just becomes punch, kick, blow, pam, whatever. And that's not to say you can't do it well. Like, you could have like a mystery or something like that. And that's another thing I wish somebody would do. Write Batman as a detective. Like a detective movie, a mystery. And that would be really cool. What are your plans with writing the story? What are you trying to achieve with it? Just kind of make something. And see what people think. That's all I'm really trying to do with it. Make something, see how people think. Anyways, when I think, in my opinion at least, like I said, when you focus more on the human aspect, and I think my favorite writer of all time, his kind of his what the hell his Superman is my Batman in a way. Do I plan on releasing it? I might release it. I probably will, yeah. But that would be in a long, long future. Legit just listen to that while taking a shower. Damn, that sounds good. Thank you. That's what I want to hear. No guarantee I could write it well. That's my idea. I've become pretty decent, I think, at pitching movies and like ideas for stuff like that after I watched a lot of movie pitches and stuff. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, basically his idea, though, with Superman is that the second Superman becomes Superman, he becomes bland, he's boring, he's uninteresting. But when you focus on the Clark Kent element of it, he's a dude who is basically a god, who pretends to be a regular human. And in his day job, he's a nerdy reporter loser who, of course, is basically a god. The other element that he really likes to focus on is the fact that Superman is an alien. He's from a literal other planet. It's Bruce Wayne's moodiness makes him feel alone. The fact that he feels like nobody can relate to him is why he feels alone. Superman doesn't feel alone, and he has every reason to feel that, as he's an actual space alien. You're making these good TV show movie pitches. Meanwhile, best thing is to diary shows a level of creative thinking. Dude, I don't think I'm creative at all. I'm terrible. I can't make my own things. I'll tell you that much. I can't make my own characters. I have to piggyback off something else. And I know not everything's creative, whatever. But I think that everything that I do lacks such a creative element to it. Anyways, yeah, the whole idea of the Superman character, though, is that he is, at the end of the day, a human, though. He's from Earth. And I think one of the best lines he's ever said is, like, oh, man, like, wherever you come from, you know, you, like, I think it's Clark's dad talking to him, and he's like, you know, I just want you to know that wherever you come from, like, I still love you. You're still my son. And he says, that's a weird thing for you to say, Dad, because I come from Kansas, just like you do. And that's what he is. He's an alien, but he's more human than anybody else. And I also think that the way he writes his dynamic with Lex Luthor, and I think one of the best lines he's ever said is Luthor's kind of motivation, or at least something that he pretends to advertise as motivation, is the fact that when people see Superman, they'd stop trying. They'd stop caring. Because nobody can be Superman. Superman's a living god, and humans at that point would stop trying to better themselves. And that's why Luthor or whatever would try to kill Superman, because he'd limit humanity, even though realistically it's probably something to do with Luthor's doing illegal things and Superman wants to stop him. But you can add those layers to anything. You really can. Take your favorite TV show, your favorite book, something like that, and if your favorite character, try to add layers to it. Try to look at something and say, no, that's not how that actually would be like. Because, like, realistically, if you're Bruce Wayne, you're due with a whole bunch of money, you're going to get drunk all the time because you're depressed, because your parents were shot when you were 8 years old right in front of you. But anyways, that's my pitch, kind of. I don't totally have a name for it right now. Right now, it's just The Batman, which I know is the name for the Affleck movie or whatever coming up. At one point, a working title was Gotham, which is hilarious. But really, I don't have a title for it at all at this point. Sorry about that. Yeah, but anyways, I'm going to move forward now, I guess, into my next topic, which is expressing creativity, and I kind of touched on it earlier. Expressing creativity, at least in my opinion, is so goddamn important. At least to do something with it, and however that may be, because there are lots of different ways to express creativity. You know, draw art, you can write things, you can write a book, you can write a screenplay, you can just write a poem, you can write nothingness, you can make music. I don't know if I said that one already. You can, you know, you can act, you can dance, you can do whatever, you know what I mean? You can express creativity in so many different ways, and it's a really healthy thing, I think, to do so, to express yourself in some ways. And that doesn't necessarily mean, you know, oh man, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write this book. It means taking a moment, and I do like to think that your best work, I do like to think that all people's best work is done when they're sitting down, you know, they're relaxed or something like that, and they're really focusing in on this topic. Or not even, because really, expressing creativity doesn't need to always be your best work. Expressing creativity can be whatever the hell you want. Right now, I'm expressing my creativity because I want to talk. I want to share stuff that I know, share stuff that I think, and thus I'm expressing myself. And expressing yourself, like I said, is super important. Super healthy thing to do. But expression doesn't need to be, you know, writing a poem. Oh man, I'm gonna make this sculpture. I'm gonna like act in this movie, something like that. It can just be thinking. It can just be thinking and sharing your thoughts with somebody else. And that's my little spiel on expression, creative expression. Anyways, good to hear though that a lot of people really like that, like, Batman type pitch, because I spent one night writing that out, kind of, at least the rough outline of what I kind of wanted to do with it. Decent title for the movie might just be Wayne, to be honest. But I think it's more than that, because it's... When are we getting a Canadian-only pay-per-view called Sold Out? Never. Anyways, my notes right here next to expression creativity, I said how important it is to find what fits you and your style. WShot.com sponsored. Anyways, I quickly wanted to touch on, since if you've watched my update video, you know currently my Xbox One is in the repairs. So I would like to take this moment, I guess, to express to you guys what I'm currently playing. Because I feel like that's a decent segment that I can do, and it's even better with my normal console not being around, because it's going to be a lot of different things. Currently, I'm trying to run through all of my Xbox 360 games from A to Z, because I feel like that would be fun. And that's something that I'm kind of just doing to the side. I played Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed 3 earlier today. And now, actually, I'm in my old save for Batman Arkham Asylum, the original one. And I'm just kind of... I'm just going and collecting all the trophies. because I haven't done that, and I kind of want to see what happens, because I don't remember totally what happens. Also, I want to get that sweet-ass gamer score. Have I seen Dunkirk? No, I haven't. Should I have? Yes. In terms of normally what I would be playing right now, if my Xbox wasn't in repairs, I would be playing, of course, Return to Arkham, Arkham Asylum, NBA 2K17, because I'm a huge basketball nerd. Love, love, love basketball. I'll get on here and I'll talk hours of basketball, actually. And I'd be playing Injustice 2, and maybe some Battlefield. And probably Rainbow Six Siege. But that'd be about it. Yeah. Meanwhile, things that I'm playing on... what the hell am I talking about? The PS4, because I do have a PS4 as well, but I don't have very many games for it. Currently what I'm playing over there is... I've dabbled in a little bit of Thief. The remake. Not the remake. Yeah, the remake, I guess. Not too sure. I totally enjoy it as much as I should. WWE 2K17, of course, because I have it over there, and I have all the DLC so whatever. I just dick around in it every once in a while. And I've actually been playing a lot of MLB The Show 16, and I know, Tucker, 17's out. What are you doing? Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of stuck with 16, because I think 16's really fun, and I do not follow baseball extensively enough to be like, oh man, these rosters are out of date. That's so frustrating. Yeah, I just don't watch it enough to be like that, I guess. So I can play it and I can just have fun with it, because it is quite fun. It is quite fun. I'm also wondering if I should try to play Bloodborne, because I have it, but I'm not too sure I like Bloodborne. Just because it's really dark. That's all. And I don't necessarily like that type of stuff. And not even like, oh man, it's kind of just like, oh, it's so like violent and stuff like that, because I don't give a damn about that. But I just mean in general, like a lot of like the visuals are really like, a lot of the visuals are really grotesque, and a lot of the ideas are really grotesque, and it's definitely the darkest of the Souls-like type games, if you've ever played any of those. I do want to play Dark Souls 3 at some point, though. I should play all the Dark Souls realistically. Sorry, looked at my cat there for a minute. He's asleep on top of a bookshelf. Jesus. How do you even get up there? Oh, I guess he jumped from the window. That makes sense, actually. Yeah, that's pretty much, though, from the game section of what I'm currently playing. Like I said, though, I do plan on playing through all of the games that I have. Not playing through all of them, but playing at least a little bit of all of them. And I'll only skip the occasional one, like something stupid I have from when I was young. Like, I'm trying to think of what I might skip here just by looking at it. Like, I wouldn't play Mini Ninjas. Oh god. I wouldn't play Kung Fu Panda. I wouldn't play any of the Kinect games because I don't care to hook up my Kinect. I wouldn't play GTA 4 because I played GTA 4 really, really recently and it was with friends, so it was a lot better than just playing it on your own. I probably wouldn't play End War because End War is basically dead now. I might actually just end up playing a lot of like the online games now that I look at it, aside from playing Batman. Lidl says, the only recent thing I've played baseball-wise is MLB Power Pros on PS2. Yeah, before, I really like the Bigs too, by the way, which is on the 360. I played the Bigs too forever, because it's just so fun. It's arcade. It's just arcade baseball. Everything's fucking crazy. Like, shit goes down. The final kind of segment, I guess, here, before I open it up mainly to comments in the chat, is music I'm currently listening to. I listen to a wide variety of music. I'm not a one-trick pony in terms of music. Currently, though, I really like listening to. Hold on, actually, let me figure out how to spell this one band's name. Sorry. Anyways, yeah, one song I'm listening to is Red Red Wine by UB40 because I don't know, it's chill as hell. Um, so another song I'm listening to is uh ILYSB, I think ILYSB. Uh, yeah, by Lanny. I don't know necessarily. Um, but I really do quite like that. Those are both kind of pop gimmicks, with Redwood Wine being kind of more. It's a reggae song. Um, in terms of rap music, I've been listening to a lot of Mad Squabbles. He's kind of a underground kind of guy. Hold on, I can read out right now how Mad Squabbles is spelt. So it's Mad Squablz. Mad Squabbles. I like The Rise and his remix of Humble, which actually both pop up when you're searching him up. And I really do quite like him. He's a bit of a throwback to kind of less mumbly days of rap, if you shall. But yeah, I really like Mad Squabbles. Another song that I'm also kind of fucking with as of late is anything really from, well, I'll more specifically say one gimmick, Vanilla Twilight by Owl City. I showed that to a buddy of mine or whatever, and he was kind of like, "Oh yeah, I really like it, but it's kind of hard to get into, I guess." With his voice, kind of thinking this is aimed more towards like a female audience. To me, honestly, I don't ever feel that way. I just kind of listen to a song and I experience it however the hell I feel like I should experience it. In my case, I try to put myself in the shoes of the singer. Rather than being a lovely girl sung to, or being, gay. But I'm not gay. You can do you though. Trying to think of other songs I've been listening to. Peace Cells by Megadeth. Headstrong by Trapped. Yeah, that's pretty much all of the main songs I'm listening to right now. Yeah, can't think of too many other ones. Oh, Alive maybe by Pearl Jam, and Even Flow by Pearl Jam. Really, of course, I listen to more songs, but I'm only saying a couple, just the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah, Headstrong by Trapped is just kind of a song that I listen to. Actually, hell, I listen to Headstrong by Trapped when I'm writing the screenplay, because I think it fits the Batman character really well, at least the character that I'm writing. I have a playlist on Spotify for me when I'm writing that screenplay, and it's kind of just, it's a mix of just super sad, self-loathing, like, and also like I think there's a playlist on Spotify called like Dealing with Loss or something like that. I kind of combined that with some like really aggressive like metal and rock and like punk type stuff, and I also put in a few really just woe is me, like pity party type songs, and I just blare it when I write that to try to get a feel of the character I'm trying to write. But yeah, at this point, I like to think I'm going to open it up to the chat. So, chat, if there's anything, you want to ask me, I guess, And please do feel free to ask me anything, because it's always great to hear. Uh, it's always great to hear things, I guess. It's always great to have content, I guess, to put on the podcast. Lidl talks a bit about Even Flow. It's a great song. He listens to it daily. Yeah. Thoughts on SummerSlam now that Bayley and Scott Dawson got injured? Wasn't really excited before. Aren't really excited now. Still isn't excited now. Wasn't excited before. Still aren't excited now. Yeah, I guess that's proper. What movies have you seen this year? What was the best and which was the worst? Oh god, I haven't seen very many movies this year. I'm trying to think of what movies I've seen this year. I may have only seen like 2 or 3. Well, I don't watch very many movies. I watch a little bit of TV, though. I don't consume that much content, which is shocking. I watch mostly YouTube stuff, because YouTube is a lot of stuff typically that's geared to what I wanna listen to, talk about, hear, whatever. A couple movies I've seen this year, of course, the Wonder Woman movie, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Those might actually be the only 2 in all of these months that I've seen. Unless other people can bring out certain movies and stuff like that, and I will say I've seen them if I remember them. But both of them were really, really good. I don't know which one I like better. Homecoming had a certain charm to it. I think that it had a charm to it, I think, that I have not felt in a movie in a long time. It was just so goddamn charming. It charmed my socks off. Wonder Woman, though, was just storytelling greatness. And there were little things probably that I would change, but nothing I can think of off the top of my head. Best tag team between Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, and E&C. You want to get, like, technical? E&C? Yeah, it's E&C. Dudleys were just brawler dudes. The Hardys were just spot dudes. E&C were wrestlers, realistically. That's kind of where I sit. This year's been great for movies as far. Logan, didn't see Logan. Planet of the Apes, didn't see Lagan. What? Didn't see Planet of the Apes. Dunkirk, didn't see it. Baby Driver, didn't see it. Yeah, I've only watched Wonder Woman and Homecoming, really, out of those ones. I don't watch very many movies. I watch TV, though. I'll tell you what TV shows I've watched, or am watching. Of course I watch Rick and Morty. You have to at this point. I watched the first season of Dirk Gently's Solicited Detective Agency. I'm really excited for the second, the second season. I watch BoJack Horseman regularly. Really excited for the 4th season. I'm really quite excited with all of the new shit that's coming my way here, coming in the fall. And I may have to check out Gotham, actually. I don't know if it's on Netflix or if I'm gonna have to go onto, like, an Android box and do it, because, like, illegal shit is fun. What? Never mind. Making a joke, but I don't know if it came across, whatever. Yeah. What other things can I speak to? Odelay, let me speak on this. BoJack, what's your thoughts on it? BoJack is great, really. I've never felt more conflicted with the character. I love BoJack so much, but he's such a fuck up. The dude fucks up at everything. And that's the really cool dynamic of BoJack Horseman. You care about him so much, but he does such scumbag things. He's a total scumbag who only cares about himself. And actually, very quickly, I will check, because HEV says that Gotham is probably on Netflix. Let me check if it's on the Canadian version, as I yawn very rudely into my microphone. Thug life. Search Gotham. Yes, it is. How many seasons we got on here? We have 2 seasons. How many seasons are there? Oh, and also in this version, Bruce Wayne's parents were murdered when he was 12. That's a little bit better than my 8, I think, and actually explains more, but I like to think that his childhood was robbed from him, so that's what I go with. How many seasons are there, though? Because there's 2 on Netflix, so I always like to keep tabs on what's updated, what isn't. Some of my other TV shows I've watched, Arrested Development, come on, think. Community. Watched like 3/4 of Friends, gave up because I think Friends is fucking horrendous. I don't watch Doctor Who. Dirk Gently is pretty much hipster Doctor Who. You're too cool to watch Doctor Who, so you watch Dirk Gently. No, just kidding. Dirk Gently is kind of like Doctor Who, but not at all like the same. Probably my favorite series I've ever watched, How I Met Your Mother, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Watched the first 3 seasons, I think. I didn't watch the 4th one because, to be honest, all the humor's the same. Kind of got old of it. Yeah. I think that's it in terms of like comedy type TV shows that have really stuck with me. I'm sure I've watched other little things off and on, like let me think here. Nope, can't think of anything. I'm so good at this podcast stuff, and I can only hope to get better, I like to think, because I don't think I'm totally great with it. When Doctor Who is good, it's really good, but when it's bad, it's basically unwatchable. Welcome to wrestling. But yeah, that pretty much is wrestling, I think, in a nutshell. When it's good, it's really fucking good. When it's bad, it's fucking terrible. Just trying to... Okay, we've hit about an hour here. That is kind of where I'm looking to keep them, around the hour range. I don't know if this one was as good as last week's, to be honest. Thoughts on how... yeah, that sounds fine, I think. Lidl's, whatever. Yeah, I think that works. I'm trying to think of more things I can talk about next episode. Do you guys want to hear more, like, story type stuff? How I think more... more, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what the hell I'm talking about. Do you guys want to hear more things? You want to hear more story type things, I guess? Because I'd like to think I've become a little good at talking about stories and making stories and telling stories and analyzing stories, which is awesome, because that's not something I would have ever been able to do a few months ago, maybe even a few weeks ago, to be honest. Also, it's really good. It's good to have something to distract from Raw. I'd like to hear more about your story as it develops. Thank you. I'm always probably going to try to run 10 to 11, because it'll help the people power through Raw, and also it gives a base thing to always come back to, always loop back to. Somebody in the chat will mention something I always loop back to. Oh yeah, shit, man, Raw's terrible. Yeah, thanks, AGB. For the interest in the story. I'm not too totally sure how good it'll turn out, but that's my idea. Next week, I could pitch you an idea for an original story I have, and that's fucking bonkers. So yeah, make sure you keep it locked. Same Tuck time, same Tuck channel. Literally, it'll be on this channel next week. 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday. I mean, I won't necessarily guaranteed be at 10 p.m. I think we were like 10:15, I think, today. But you know, general area. Keep those fingers ready, I guess. Keep those fingers ready. Jesus Christ, what is this, Pornhub? God damn it. Anyways. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for coming out, for giving me content, for listening to me babble about stupid shit. yeah, that is all. This is Silly Tuck. Oh, one sec, my mouse died. gotta open the software and turn off the stream. This is Silly Tuck. Signing out.